Hello students, once again today is your fifth session that is under the chapter of your circulatory system. We have talked a lot about how your circulatory system works, how the blood works, what is blood group. Then also we have also discussed about the heart. Okay, today also we are going to still discuss about heart. Okay, that is under your pacemaker tissue of the heart. So what is the pacemaker tissue that is present in the heart? Okay, first we know that there are certain tissues in our in our heart. Also there are certain tissues, okay, that has their function is that they mainly are concerned by mainly concerned with the initiation. That means when they that are capable of generating its own electric signals. Okay, they can generate its own electric signals, and also they are mainly concerned with the conduction of the heartbeat, where they are mainly concerned with all these things. Okay, these tissues are mainly concerned with all those generating its own electric signals as well as the conduction of heartbeat. Okay, these tissues are known as your pacemaker tissues. Okay, these pacemaker tissues, they are the specialized type of cells, or we can say that they are specialized impulse conducting cells. Okay, we can also say they are the specialized impulse conducting cells, okay, in the heart that form the nodule tissues. Okay, I will come to you what are nodule tissues. So these pacemakers, they are mostly responsible for conducting and generating its own electric signals that helps in the heartbeat. Okay, and these tissues are known as your pacemaker tissues. Okay, or we can also call them, they are the specialized impulse conducting cells in the heart from the nodule tissues. Okay, so what are these nodule tissues? So let's just assume that this is the structure of your heart. Okay, this is just a rough diagram to show you this is the structure of your heart. So what happened is that inside your heart, remember, you have four chambers, right? You have four chambers that are okay, four chambers. That is your right, left ventricle. Okay, so what will happen is that this side is your right auricle, okay, left auricle, and then this side is your right ventricle, and this side is your left ventricle. So this nodule, okay, they are located in this portion. Okay, and this portion, they are also known as your sinoatrial node, or we can also call them as SA node. Okay, so that in this side, in here your nodule tissues are located, and this place is known as your sinoatrial node, or we can also call them as SA node. And this SA node, okay, let me just write here, they supply rich capillary. Okay, so they supply rich capillary. Okay, so this SA node, okay, they are mainly found where the your superior vena cava empties in the right atrium. So here you have your superior okay, you have your superior vena cava. Remember, I have already shown you the structure of the heart. So here your superior vena cava is there. So they are located at this place where your superior vena cava, remember, they carry the deoxygenated blood. So what do? They do is that they pour the deoxygenated blood in your right auricle. So your sinoatrial node are located here. Okay, and this region, okay, this region, they are known as your pacemaker. Okay, because why they are known as your pacemaker? Because it is the place where they initiate the heartbeat. It is the place where they control, or it is the beginning of the it is the starting of your heartbeat. So from your SA, your heartbeat starts from your SA node. Okay, so how does it start? Let me explain to you in details. So what happened is that this SA node, they are able to generate its own electric signal. Okay, they send its own electric signal to the muscles of the heart, to the muscle tissues of the heart. So when they send signals, okay, they send signals and spread it all inside here. Okay, when they send signal, they'll spread it here. They'll also spread it to the left auricle. Okay, they'll send the signals and then they'll spread in the left auricle. From the right auricle, they'll send signals towards all the auricle. Okay, so in order to pass through here, you know that your the four chambers are uh, are divided by a tissue, remember? And say the thick muscular wall that is known as your septum. Okay, so in order this electric signal to pass through, here you remember that they have a thick wall that is known as your septum. So in order to pass through here, there is another mass of tissue known as your AV node. Okay, we can also call them as your atrioventricular node. Okay, atrioventricular node. I'll just write roughly, you can refer your textbook. Okay, so what happened is that in order for the electric signal to pass through this thick muscular wall that is your septum, okay, this there is an we can call it as there an AV node, okay, or we can say your atrioventricular node. It will allow the signal to pass through it with the help of this node. Okay, so when this signal pass through here, in order to pass in your right ventricle, okay, they will pass and they'll form like a network. Okay, first it will spread and form a bundle. There will be a bundle here. Suppose this is the bundle. This bundle is known as your His bundle. Okay, so this His bundle, again they'll form like a network. You know a network, right? Like this, a network of, okay, a network of tissues. Okay, so they will start forming a network, okay, that is known as your Purkinje. That is known as your Purkinje fibers. Okay, so let me just draw here a rough diagram. This part is your right ventricle, and this part is your left ventricle. Here you have your septum, here you have a right auricle, and here you have your left auricle. Okay, so what happened is that when the signals are being passed through all over these right auricles, so in order to cross through this, there is a thick muscular wall. So with the help of that, here you have your AV node. Remember, they are also known as your atrioventricular node. So this ventricular node will further have a branches, okay, that is, or we can say they further have a thick branch, okay, a branch fiber that is known as your His. And then this bundle of fibers, His, again they will spread another small fibers, or we say small branches, that is known as your Purkinje fibers. Okay, so these Purkinje fibers, they will send the signal around the right ventricle, as well as they will send signal towards your left ventricles, which will help in contracting of your heart. Okay, so I hope you're clear. This there are specialized signal, okay, that is sent, that is because of your pacemaker. Okay, that is your pacemaker. So when they pass that signal, they will help in contraction of your heart. So first you'll start contracting around your auricles, and then it will travel, that is through the help of your AV node, and then with the help of your His, and then with the help of Purkinje fiber, they will send the electric signal to all the surrounding, which helps in the contraction of your heart. So I hope you understand by the pacemaker of the tissue of the heart, or what is their function. So now let's move on to the next, that is the circulation of blood. How is blood being circulated all over your body? We all know that heart plays a major role in the circulation of blood throughout our body, right? Heart. So what does the heart do? How does it help in distributing the blood? Okay, mainly it is because of the rhythmic contraction. There will be a contraction and relaxation in the heart muscles. We have already discussed in the pacemaker tissue of the heart. So whenever there's a contraction and relaxation of your heart muscles, that will help them in transportation of the blood. Okay, so firstly the pumping action of the heart will start by the contraction. Pumping is responsible for the contraction. Okay, so they'll have a contraction of the muscular wall, and then what happened is that, and then after there will be a contraction, then you will have your relaxation. Once the upper chamber they start contracting, okay, and pour it into the lower chambers, then the upper chamber they will start having a relaxation. That means your contraction and your relaxation. Okay, and then we know that the human heart consists of 4 chambers, that is your right auricle, right ventricle, left auricles, and your left ventricles. Okay, so these 2 auricles, that is your, whether they are your right auricle, and I'll just write in short form, and your left auricle, okay, they come together, okay, they work together, so they contract and what do? Is that they contract and relax together. Okay, that is your upper chambers. Okay, and then at the same time, even your left ventricle and your right ventricle, they will contract and relax together. Your right auricle and your left ventricle, they cannot contract together and cannot relax together. Okay, only the auricle and auricle will contract and relax together, and your ventricle and ventricle, they will contract and relax together. Okay, and then remember, your right auricle, they mainly carry deoxygenated blood. Okay, so from where do they receive? You know, their function is receiving of blood, right? So they will receive blood, deoxygenated blood, from two places. Okay, first is from your superior vena cava, and this your superior vena cava, they will have left and right. Okay, so they will receive deoxygenated blood from your two parts, that is from your left and right superior vena cava, and that is in the upper part of your body. Okay, the upper part of your body, such as your head, neck, chest and arm. Okay, that is, they will receive from the left side and the right side of your of your body, on the upper part of your left and right. Okay, they will receive the deoxygenated blood from the super vena cava, and the other part, they can also receive a deoxygenated blood. It is from your lower part of your body. Okay, that is, they will travel through your right and left posterior vena cava. So your right auricle will receive blood from two parts, that is either from your left and right side of your super vena cava, that is on the upper part of your body, and they will also receive deoxygenated blood, that is from your lower part of the body, that is through your right and left posterior vena cava. We have already discussed that they are the blood vessels, okay, that are mainly responsible for carrying the blood. Whereas your left auricle, okay, their main function is of they receive, or we can say they carry a oxygenated blood, or we can say that they are filled with the oxygenated blood. Okay, this way it'll be more easier for you. Okay, so let me write here first your right auricle. So as I have told you that your right auricle will receive blood from two places, that is from your upper part of your body, and it will travel through your superior vena cava, that is your left and right superior vena cava. Okay, and then they will also the deoxygenated blood will also travel through your posterior vena cava. Okay, that is the left and right of your posterior vena cava. The deoxygenated blood will travel through these two blood vessels. So once it reaches your right auricle, the right auricle will contract and send it into your right ventricle. Okay, so they carry here deoxygenated blood, remember here. So they will travel to your right ventricle. So after the deoxygenated blood, it travels to your right ventricle, then this right ventricle will send it to the lungs for for purification. Okay, that is for purification of the deoxygenated blood. What do? Is that they will purify, they will turn this deoxygenated blood into oxygenated blood, and while they travel from the right ventricle to the lungs, they will travel through your pulmonary artery. Okay, so after the lungs have purified the deoxygenated blood, okay, into oxygenated blood, what will they do is that they will reach to the left auricle. Okay, here now you have is your oxygenated blood. After purification, you have your oxygenated blood, and they will go to your left auricle. Okay, they will go to your left auricle through your here with the help of your pulmonary veins. Okay, your pulmonary veins will be responsible for carrying the oxygenated blood and send it to your left auricle. Okay, after they go to the left auricle, okay, they will go to your right I mean they will go and then it will pass it to your left ventricle. Okay, from your left ventricle, what will they do is that the blood will be pumped. The blood will be pumped into your aorta. From your aorta, what will they do is that they will supply it to the different parts of the body. This is how the circulation of blood takes place. Okay, so from here, let me repeat, from your superior vena cava and from your posterior vena cava, the deoxygenated blood will go to your right auricle, and then they will travel to your right ventricle, and then to your pulmonary artery. They will go to the lungs for purification, and after the deoxygenated blood has been purified, they will turn into oxygenated blood, and they will travel through your pulmonary veins. Remember, they are the blood vessels, and they will go to your left auricle, and then they will travel to your left ventricle, and then they will go to the aorta, that is the largest vein. Okay, and then they will travel, and then this aorta will distribute to the different parts of your body. Okay, and this circulation of the blood, they circulate twice. Okay, the blood circulates twice through the heart. Okay, and they make one complete round of blood circulation throughout the body. Okay, so this is known as your double circulation. So that means when the blood has circulated twice, right, here from here and then here from here, so this is known as your double circulation. Okay, so in this arrangement, what happened is that I told you two circulation, right, from here to here and then from here to here. So in this arrangement, what will happen is that the blood, okay, we can say that the blood will flow, okay, or we'll say the blood flows between, okay, between the lung and heart, and between the heart and body. Okay, the blood flows between the lung and heart, and between the heart and the body. Okay, and here the circulation between the lung and the heart, it is known as your pulmonary circulation. Okay, and when the blood flows between the heart and the body, they are known as your systemic circulation. Okay, so when the blood flows between the lung and heart, we call it as a pulmonary circulation, and when the blood flows between the heart and the body, they are known as your systemic circulation. Okay, so what happened is that in pulmonary circulation, okay, the blood flows, okay, from right ventricle. Okay, the blood flows from the right ventricle into the lungs, and then they get oxygenated and return to the left auricle. Okay, that is to your pulmonary, that is to your pulmonary veins. Okay, so when in pulmonary circulation, when the blood flows, that means from the right ventricle to the lungs, then they get oxygenated and they are sent to your left auricle, that is to your pulmonary veins. Okay, when it comes in terms of your systemic circulation, it means that the blood flows, okay, the blood flows, okay, from your left auricle, the blood will flow from your left ventricle to the body parts, and they will return to the heart in the right auricle. In this way, circulation keeps. This is known as your double circulation. Okay, that means after left auricle, then from the left auricle, okay, they will flow to the left ventricle and then to the body parts, and then again after returning to the body parts, again the deoxygenated blood, okay, from the body parts, deoxygenated blood will be collected, and then they'll be sent from the heart, they will return to the heart and in the right auricle, so that the right auricle through the right ventricle, they will send it to the lungs for purification. Again, the process will keep on continuing. This is how the circulation of blood takes place. So I hope you all understand about what I have taught you. In the next class, we will learn more about the heartbeat, about what our pulse, and then we'll also learn about the lymphatic system.